Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl. Once again, I'm back at it. So today darn it, I wish I recorded whenever I went into the store today, but I went into Michael's today. So we just gonna talk a little bit and I'm pour painting. Once again, such a dope hobby for me. Keeps me a little busy while I'm waiting to ship out to boot camp, to the Navy. So, yeah, I'm getting into it. Um, so, cool thing, right? I have a few colors here. I have a pretty blue. Here I have a very deep purple. I think they call it deep violet. I don't know. And then I have some yellow here. I have a little bit of pink here, and I have some white, of course. I really don't know what I want the base to be. Honestly, I feel like I don't want a base because the canvas is white itself, but I think, yeah, so I think I'm gonna stick to white. We're gonna try to even it out though, or layer it out nicely because honestly, I ran out of white. I wasn't thinking about that when I went into Michael's. So Michael's is an arts and crafts store. I love it, love it, love it. I can get lost in it. I feel like a kid in a candy store whenever I go in, as corny as it sounds. Just like how I feel about going into Barnes and Nobles. So went in today real quick to grab a couple colors, and to grab some more canvases because I had ran out. Yeah. So we're just going to do a little bit of painting. I done I did one painting already, um, which is behind me, and I'll show you. Actually, let me show you right now. So if you can see, I did that. I had a black base. I think I kind of like I think it's kind of moody. I think the label I'm gonna give it is fire and ice. You know. Um, but anyway, let's get into it. So, how was your Valentine's Day? Hopefully, it was dope. Um, I know it's a hard holiday sometimes for people. So, if yours is a little bit touchy, especially for singles, if it was a little bit touchy, a little bit hard, I am sorry to hear that, but everything worth having is worth waiting for. At least that's what I try to tell myself, player. That's what I try to tell myself sometimes. Everything worth having is worth waiting for. Um, so, so yeah. Um, my Valentine's Day was all right. It was more of a self-care day for me. I think I've been single for about 4 months now. And it wasn't a bad breakup or anything like that. The young lady was cool. She was a dope individual, a lot of ambition, which I totally love. Like, totally love it. But I can't really, I think, not to put our business out there too tough, but at this point in my life, I like slow and steady. I like different. Um, I like consistency. I like adventure, a lot of it. Um, yeah, and while she did come with a lot of that, there was just a lot of uncertainty on both our ends, I think, you know. And that I can't do. I just can't do it. Um, I think we dated for about 8 months, um, which was awesome. They were a very nice, cool 8 months. Um, Not my longest, but not my shortest either. But long story short, it just wasn't it. And I was cool with that. I wasn't heavily invested, nor was she, so it was all right. Keeping it cool. If I'm being honest, it was all right. So I got my white base down. Um, I'm gonna start to pour some of this pink in here. I'm gonna do it in the middle this time. I usually do, you know, a couple circles, but I'm not gonna go circular with this right now. I'm gonna go straight up and see what we get. Um, so so yeah, this Valentine's Day was a little bit different. Just a little bit different, but nice nonetheless. Some triggers, but nice nonetheless. Before the young lady that I dated a couple months ago, I was in a long-term relationship that, you know, didn't go the way I wanted it to go. I still have some feelings about it, some residuals, but we pushed through, right? We pushed through. So, one thing I did notice about Valentine's Day, which I was so confused about, I have this thing where I never want to be a carbon copy of the rest of the world. I think that we're all unique, and that's the beautiful thing about us, right? So, one thing I did notice that everybody is doing is like, as their grand gestures, is like the flower petals on the floor or on the bed, and the in particular rose petals, and excuse me, the heart balloons and things of that nature, going out to eat, your favorite restaurant, things like that. If I go eat at one more restaurant with a partner or a significant other or a potential, like, it might bore me. I think I used to be okay with those things, but then I'm starting to think like, gosh, there's got to be so much more to it, right? And I think that's why God sometimes has me wait for what I really want, because he knows that I'm about to be superb about this shit. I think the way I envision doting or, showing my partner adoration is like, my grand gesture, my idea of it is like, take me to a Broadway play in a whole nother city. How about I do that? Like, let me go ahead and take us out of the country or out of the state. Let's go see something else. Let's go to a getaway house. If you don't know what that is, look it up. They're super dope. It's almost like camping out in the woods in a sense, but you're secluded in this little house, this small, tiny house type of situation, and you might have a campfire outside. Give me something that builds real intimacy. I think sex is great, and I think that's usually what people get to at the end of Valentine's Day, but I'm not even that, like, I'm not even excited about that anymore. Like, it's going to be great to have a partner who's great in that area, but you have got to surprise me. You've got to be adventurous. You got to have a lot of depth, because it really is what I bring to the table. Anyway, let me start this blow dryer real quick. it's not exactly coming out how I want it to necessarily. I'm gonna put some more white in this because, baby, just need a little bit of more of that. Um, so yeah, like Valentine's Day was a little bit triggering, but it also reminded me of the type of love I want, and it reminded me of what I deserve. And it ain't just some rose petals, that's for sure. And I think that's why it's hard to date me, y'all. I'm not easily moved, yo. I'm not easily moved. Like, it's hard to get my attention, and it's even harder to keep it. Uh, don't get me wrong. I love a pretty face. I love a pretty face. Um, that will attract me for a minute. But then if you're like not vibrating at a high frequency, forget about it. Like, You gotta be super in tune with yourself. And we all struggle some days. Some days it's easier than others, to walk the path that we do. But you gotta be one with yourself completely. And I'm still working on a lot of things, like, definitely still working on a lot of things. But the one thing I know I try to be mindful of all the time is, who am I? What do I bring to myself? What do I bring to another person outside of fucking flowers? Outside of a dinner date? I can take myself out to dinner, and I do. Believe it. If I want to go to a movie, it's nice to have company, but I could do that for myself too. But what are we doing that builds a solid foundation, or, compounds onto a solid foundation, and what builds intimacy? What is it? Because it ain't just flowers, player. It's not just flowers. Please continuously show me things I have not seen before, as I will always try to do for my partner. One thing about me is I like to outdo myself. On gifts, I like to outdo my partner. Little competitive side of me, but it's all good. It's all good. They're gonna love it. Um, but I try to outdo myself every time I do set out to do something for someone. And so when I look at relationships right now, and the way Valentine has become so commercial, it's so commercial that we're just getting flowers and shit and putting rose petals on the floor. Like, I'll even take a handwritten poem over that stuff. Do you hear me? I'll take that. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not like the poetic type, like to write poetry and things like that. I love reading it. But to go ahead and put together a couple haikus, that's not easy for me. So somebody who is well versed in that or can do that, that's special to me, right? Bring something to the table that I probably can't or don't know how to. Amaze me in that way. So yeah, like, I don't know. I think I didn't see anything really special this Valentine's Day. But I mean, by all means, if that's how you dote on your partner, please do. If that's what they love, I like it. Do it. But I didn't really see anything outstanding. I didn't. Definitely didn't. And then Valentine's Day has a certain meaning to it. And I like to educate myself on certain things, certain holidays, because I don't always know what they're about. We just celebrate these things and don't have a clue as to where it came from, where it was derived from. Now, I didn't do all the work, but I'm pretty sure Valentine's Day was like about Saint Valentine sacrificing himself. I think Saint Valentine, if I'm correct, wanted to be with this woman, and I think her parents or nobody wanted them together, and he was willing to sacrifice so much for that love. I think even sacrifice himself for it. But there's a darkness to where Valentine's Day comes from. There's a darkness to it. It wasn't all peaches. It wasn't all fuzzy. Like I said, it's become so heavily commercialized. It's insane to me. I like gifts. Gift giving is a love language. Definitely is. Um, but quality time, a bigger love language for me. Um, Affection, touch, huge love language for me. But I think sometimes we miss like the intimacy, and I wonder about that. Like, while people are getting gifts and while people are doing roses and flowers, is there intimacy involved in that? Because really and truthfully, you can have intimacy without doing anything with somebody, without having sex with them, without um, doing the gifts. You can get that. So I just wonder sometimes about it, you know? Have we made it too commercial to where we forgot what it's really supposed to be about? And why is it such a big deal? Because the way your girl is set up, for my wife, for my future wife, my future partner, like Valentine's Day legit is every day. That means that the flowers, the dozens, the 2 dozens, the 3 dozens, whatever the fuck you want to do, they don't just come on Valentine's Day, y'all. They don't. The trips, the spontaneity, the adventurous sides, or the adventures, they don't just come on Valentine's Day. My partner should feel as special as she does on Valentine's Day every other day of the year. I'm not saying go ahead and ball out and be broke, you know? But what I'm saying is this day shouldn't be it shouldn't be like the culmination of your love. It shouldn't be. It should be a small fraction of it. Every day you have with the one that you love should be blessed with some sort of something. And I'm pretty sure everybody's favorite fucking flower is in roses. I'm pretty sure. Like, my favorite flower is not a red rose. So if you gonna come at me on Valentine's Day, roses are nice, but can you give me my favorite flowers? Fill my whole house up with my favorite flowers. I'ma love you for it. And I'ma think you're so fucking unique and dope. And you're gonna be separate from the world for me. And I like it. I like the uniqueness. So why aren't we doing more of that? Like, why hasn't somebody said, okay, well, my partner's favorite flower is this, so let me go ahead and bless them on Valentine's Day with that favorite flower? Why are we just stuck to roses? You get what I'm saying? Like, the originality is what I'm seeing that lacks in Valentine's Day now. So it's just, I mean, I love the holiday too. I do, but I feel like there should be more to it than what the world puts out there, than what society puts out there, what we as people put out there. There just should be a little bit more to it. And your girl shouldn't feel like the most special girl in the world, or your man shouldn't feel like the most special man in the world. Like, either way, because you could give gifts either way. But they shouldn't feel like it's a extra special day because of that. They should feel that way on a regular basis. Oof. Don't get me started, because I know my partner is going to be in for a treat. Okay? Like, when I say they're going to love the hell out of me, no cap, as y'all all say. Love the hell out of me. And I'm going to make sure I show my appreciation for them every day. So every month you'll probably get some flowers. You know, like, every month is going to be some kind of outing that's different, something we haven't done. not just a restaurant. I'm bored with restaurants too. Like, how are y'all not bored with some of this stuff? It takes a lot more. Maybe that's why I'm still single a little bit, because it just is going to take an extraordinary individual. An extraordinary individual. Literally. Like, in all kinds of ways. You know. But anyway, let's look at what we got. Can you see? Because I feel like I'm horrible at holding camera phones up and showing the work. But there's one. There's one. So I don't know what I want to call that. Don't know what I want to call it, but I like it. You know? I always say I dream in color. I do. But anyway, just a little quick video. I hope that y'all are all doing well. I hope that everything is going, great for you. And if you struggle with anything, pray about it. Prayer works wonders. Pray about it. Do something to take you out of that headspace that might be negative for that time being. I've given some tools for that on the last video, so check it out. And yeah, I wish you all, as always, peace, love, and light, and I give you the warmest of hugs.